Oh, I can't, it is Thursday.
Yeah.
I can't make it.
Yeah,
I didn't even know.
Hello, how are you?
Ready? All right, tonight's Oregon Town Boarding meeting. Town Board meeting, not boarding. We'll come to order. Jennifer, you can do the roll call, please.
Carl Walzer.
Here.
Lori Fitzgerald here. Arlen Kai
Here.
and Steve Jernigan.
Here.
And Tim LeBrun is excused absent.
With you? Yeah, wow. Looking for approval of the minutes. We just have one set from August 12th.
Right.
Did you say that there were
Yeah.
or ahead of time?
Right,
They're all set?
they're all set.
Okay. Any questions or comments about the August meeting?
I move to approve.
I'll second. Okay, any discussion with them? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion passes. Thank you. And then financial report, loan update, and payment vouchers. Everybody get a chance to sign the payment voucher packet that went around. Okay, any questions about anything there? Okay, then with hearing nothing, without objection, the financial reports, loan update, and payment vouchers are approved. Public comments, we said not to for the public comments, everyone. And I'm gonna, let's see. Let's let's do it this way. So for item 6, let's talk about the McKay Nursery driveway. Arlen, is that?
Yes, the Road and Safety Committee has recommended approval of the variance to allow a second driveway into the McKay Nursery. I think we have good sight lines, long, flat, very good distance away from Fish Hatchery Road. And you talked about removal of some of the trees. That the flagged area is going to involve removal of some of the trees that would enhance the visual, and that you're planting other trees. So that's what you sell.
Yeah. And we're gonna bring the property off of the highway to stop the dust and wind that comes through there. So and we're also actually doing a bunch of improvements, including blacktopping around this. Yeah, we're gonna put in roughly 600 ARVs this year. And we make them so we can afford to do it, otherwise we could not.
Arlen, anything else?
I think it was recommending approval. That fits within safety. You were
Yeah,
there?
yep.
Okay. Any comments, Steve, or questions? Anything? No. Looking for a motion then to ahead.
Well, I would make a motion that we grant a variance to be allowing a second driveway for 5655 Lincoln Road to allow service vehicles to have a separate driveway into the property.
You're a second. I second that. Steve seconds. Any discussion? Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All say no. Motion passes. Thank you. All set. Thank you. And let's jump out of 6 over to 11 and talk about 11.
A.
No. Okay, 11A. Yeah, so let's jump to 11A version of the agendas. And folks, you were here to talk about that, about the right-of-way clearing. What did you want to say?
about the damage claim,
Mhm.
getting our fence, Leatherwood Road.
What did you want to, do you have something to?
Did y'all get my email?
I have a copy.
It's right up here, this September 9th.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Are there any questions that you have?
So you're looking for, I know the fence is in disrepair. It's been covered up for years, probably right there. Once it's cleared the other day. So what are you looking for on this map?
Most of the time in the past, they forget to mow that area. And the reason they do, I think they think that I'm in the village, but I'm not a township. And I have been for, I don't know, for 12 years. And so anyway, they usually forget. So I called Rhonda and told her that they forgot me. So she said, I should talk to Jane Essex.
Abel,
Abel Schultz, right?
Mhm.
And so, anyway, I talked to him and he said he would come out and take a look at it and maybe give me a call. Came out and looked at it, but he never called me, so I didn't know what was happening. And what was happening was then he brought in some machine that's huge, very tall, and apparently can go either vertically or horizontally, and started taking away some of the brush outside of the fence. But as he's doing that, rather than using a chainsaw, he's using this huge machine thing. And anyway, he was able to, to control it or something. It anyway knocked down part of the fence and damaged part of it. And so I'm here to tell you about that and to see what we can reach as far as some agreement as far as replacing the parts of the fence that he damaged. And anyway, that's why I'm here.
Okay, so I think in some communication you said that that fence has been there since you moved to Oregon. So
I'm not sure of that, but it's been there a while. And the fence on the east side of my property is the same. They put it at the same time.
okay, but that's a little bit more open than the west side.
Right.
Like the east side is exposed to sun, and it doesn't
Right.
look quite as bad as the longer
In that
section.
retention pond.
Right. What we have different stories, I suppose, to sort through because the equipment that Able used is designed for that, so that vertical trimming, pruning, what have you. I mean, it leaves kind of ugly, frayed branches, but we can clean that up.
Yeah, that's.
I have not heard anything that says that he lost control of the equipment.
Oh no, I didn't say he lost control.
What did you say?
It's just that the equipment is so big that I think had he been with the chainsaw, it would have been easier to get rid of the overhang brush.
Okay, well,
As far as I know, that's the only piece of equipment they can use. They could not go up the chainsaw. And I've been by I'm by that property for the last 22 years, almost daily, either by
Okay.
I slip on, drive on that. I know it's been covered up for years and
Right.
I don't know. Do you have somebody doing the rest of your property? As far as taking care of the lawn there?
Yeah.
Okay, so exciting. Is there any reason why they weren't also taking care of that property in front of the fence?
Well, it was never mowed.
But I know, as far as I know, they couldn't get a mower in there because of all the overgrown brush coming from the other side of the
Before
fences.
the brush, it was never. I would have to call like every year because they thought that I was in the town, I mean the village.
I think we need to be looking into as to what it is if we're charging our patrolmen to be doing as far as fence line maintenance or maintenance of brush that's coming in?
They
And
also,
what is the owner's responsibility and what is the town's responsibility?
they don't mow across the road either on the north side of another road, and that's also in the township.
Isn't it? And I don't know that that's not subject to your wanting
But
to
it's
be.
still in the township and it's right across from our property, so I guess they just think that both properties are in, you know, in the village.
I think that's another question that's not related to what it is that you're asking.
But when you mentioned that the brush was grown up, but they say I usually have to wait for them to come mow till the very end because they think that I'm not in the township.
I don't.
I guess what my point is a lot of the overgrowth and that was on your property, on the south side of the fence, on the property side of the fence, it was all coming over the fence. And I guess the question would be,
Some of it.
is that the responsibility of the homeowner to take care of the brush and stuff that's on their property, as it would be in my property?
Yeah.
I have responsibility for taking care of all the overgrowth that invades my neighbors. I guess, Carl, if I'm not, am I correct to say that's kind of the question there is the responsibility of the homeowner as far as the foliage on the property itself, not in the ditch or in the
I think absolutely true. I think if the tree or the shrub is on actual property, not in the right of way, then if it overhangs, then it really becomes the owner's responsibility. Now, don't ask me to point to where that's stipulated or where that's referenced, but I believe it is. Could I ask go ahead, you do anything?
You may have a property line, you may have a tree growing up on your side of the fence and the branches hanging.
Right.
I understand the law correctly. You have the right to cut off the branches and go straight up from the property line that's overhanging your property. You have that right. In the process of cutting that off, you cannot damage your fence if your neighbor was cutting off this branch. He cannot cut it off and damage your fence and say, well, whatever you might say. There is a responsibility of the person cutting off the branches not to damage the fence of the property owner. He has a right to cut it off. Good for him. He has no right to damage any fence. So the question gets to be, was any fence damaged? Well, the pictures I think are pretty clear. And I watched them use that equipment. When they hit those branches that are hanging up, those branches that are going through the fence are going back and forth. And of course, they knocked the fence apart. My point is, and Karen's point was, that piece of equipment was really inappropriate for cutting those branches with branches going through the fence. I understand that's much more efficient. I also understand the more appropriate way would have been to go up there and cut those individual pieces off at the fence so the fence wasn't damaged. We believe that the township has a responsibility for repairing the fences that were cut off. Now the question is, were some broken already? Were they not? That's difficult. I understand that situation. But I think there is, and I think you would agree that if that equipment damaged the fence and that cutting damaged the fence, there's an obligation of the township to make whole in some fashion. We can discuss how that could be done. I don't know what your process is for those kind of discussion. But I believe that we could have a discussion about how that damage could be made whole.
Well, I'm not quite to that point though.
Okay.
So I have some questions about the fence itself, since we're talking about the fence. And so did you say it was in place when you moved in? You didn't build a new fence, did you?
There was fencing all around the back. There was another fence coming north and south,
Okay,
and I don't remember.
and it's an all wood fence, correct?
Yes.
It's all wood.
Right.
And so let's say that let's say that it wasn't there when you moved in 50-ish years ago, right? 10 years later, it doesn't matter, decades ago. And one of the problems with wood fence is if you don't keep it painted, keep it sealed, then it rots. And that's exactly what appears to have happened along that entire fence line, the longer part along Netherwood. Because what you can do, there was damage. You can see damage in photos. On Google the mapping website. Have you used that at all? No. So it's an online website where it'll show you directions to places, but then they also show photos of those streets. So if you go to, if you watch somebody go to Google and Google your address, you can also see a 360-degree image of your street, across the street, down Netherwood, up Netherwood, all over. And Google has got photos going back to, I want to say the oldest one is 2007. And many of those photos show either really, you could tell there's no paint, and you can tell that the wood is decayed. You can tell that some of the joints are loose.
Some of, you can see that some of the
We
boards
see
are
them.
off.
Right.
It's right there.
Not good number of them are off.
Yeah.
And what year is that from? From to 2021, so 4 years ago. So I think your fence rotted on you. It was covered. There was a street view where you could not see the fence at all because the shrubs that were growing out of the street, those are definitely shrubs. And that traps the moisture on the wood fence too. That causes the nails to loosen and the boards to rot and the paint to fall off. So the fence, I just want to make sure we're not in this discussion, we're not talking about a brand new fence that got damaged. We're
No.
talking about a fence that was in very, very bad condition.
That's what they were.
And I don't want to jump to that, but I don't know what your fence would be worth I don't even know if you could repair it. I have a feeling that if you tried to nail a new board onto any part of that fence, the nails wouldn't hold. It looks, I don't know I know some of the boards are down now still, right? Wherever they fell. If you can get somebody to drag a board for you to your house, you can see what kind of condition it's in. But I bet you it's almost, well, I'm not gonna, it's something, I'm gonna exaggerate here, but it's almost powder. It's gonna be almost powder. It's gonna be really rotten and decayed. And I don't know how you would fix that.
I walked the line on Sunday and took pictures, and what I have, the pictures they're pretty telling that way. There's a lot of rotted wood there. Carl's right that I do a lot of woodworking. There's nothing you could do with that, no matter what. It was always here, not in repair.
I guess I'm not thinking that you should replace the whole fence. I'm just thinking sections that you damaged by that machine that are now down and broken.
Did you ask the town to clear the brush?
No.
What did you ask the town to
To
do?
mow.
But I think then Abel said he couldn't mow because of the overgrowth, correct?
Well, I think the reason he couldn't mow is there's a depression, it goes down. It's not a flat piece of
Right.
land there.
Right, it's a ditch.
You could have made the first cut,
Can you get some
which is
historic pictures?
The one with the boards was 2021. And I don't remember what year. There was one of the years where you just could not see the fence at all. There are some photos from back where you can tell that the paint's off.
Could we have the same photos that you're talking?
It's a bitch.
There are some in the you have the packet. There's some in the packet, and then
The packet were the ones that we built. Right,
I think there were some others too. Some of the older ones. So,
I didn't get that.
oh, okay.
The photo?
So what happened at one point, especially on this one, you could see it, where there was
This is
a lot of. poles.
Okay.
Poles. And then there was a small tree, maybe 3 inches. And that machine cut that tree, and that fell down, and that fell down in the fence. See that?
Sir, I think we can agree that there might have been some parts of the fence. It wasn't the way it ended up after you did the cutting.
I'm sorry, say, I've got a.
Well, that's right. I think we agree that maybe some of the fence, some of the boards are down, who knows how many? If you could show us one, okay, there's one. But I think it's obvious that the cutting of the fence or the cutting of the brush destroyed some of the fence. Now, the question is, what's the resolution of that law? We're willing to work out something with you in regard to that. And we assume part of the responsibility, but there's also some part of the responsibility should be assumed with attention. And we might be able to work out something that'd be a win-win proposition. For example, I think we both agree that that lane of roadway coming down from the first development on the west, and then the development where we are, all the way up, is quite different than the rest of the village roadway going west. Quite different than the road on Netherwood Street going toward town. It's this narrow strip that has been left, been left by the township to grow over and become much more undesirable than what it could be if it followed the lead of the village. So what we'd like to see is some effort to make that a very appealing roadside rather than rush in the middle of the town of village in Oregon. And the township, we're stuck in this island, as you know, with village property on both ends. And that's would look a lot better if all that was cleared and could be planted and seeded and cut decently during the summertime. That'd be appealing, I think, on part of the township, how they take care of their property in the middle of the villages on both sides. That'd be appealing to us because it'd be look a lot better. We would have the responsibility for having a decent fence. That would also make it more appealing than a fence that looks like this, which we could probably just let go. We wouldn't want to do that. You wouldn't want that. Well, I think we could come up with a win-win way in which you assume some responsibility, we assume some responsibility, and jointly we figure out what's the most economic way to make them much more appealing for the township and for the village and for us.
Arlen, can I ask you a question, sort of road and traffic safety and right of way related? What, and this is sort of, I think this goes to what you were talking about maybe 5 minutes ago. Do the public works guys have a schedule of addressing right of ways, especially overgrown right of ways, or is it when possible, when resources available, when weather permits, or is there a plan?
As far as dealing with shrubbery that's encroaching, we're just in the process of trying to improve the safety of intersections, trying to improve and eliminate the encroachments. We have a lot of property owners who have encroached on the right of way in various ways. Some of it is letting growth happen, and we're trying to deal with homeowners or property owners to be clearing the encroachments and get some work wider. And so that is kind of a question of saying, or that we are going to be, I anticipate that we are going to be having more discussions with homeowners that they clear the encroachments that are from their property onto the right of way. Some of these are fences, some of these are bushes, some of these are trees that are planted by the property owners in the right of way. And so we're trying to have them to take the responsibility to clear these encroachments. And it's not something that we're looking at a policy that we're going to come in and just start wholesale cutting down trees and fences and bushes and shrubbery that's into the right of way.
So it's more as needed.
As needed.
In conjunction with the property.
Conjunction with property owners, and that the property owners bear responsibility and or be billed for work that's done by Public Works.
It's outside of the right of way.
That's inside. If it's
I mean,
It's encroaching.
not
It's encroaching on-
not in the right of way. Right of way.
in the right of way, we're not. If it's outside the right of way, we don't want to deal with it.
That would be the property owner too.
That's a property owner too. But anything that comes from the property into the right of way,
Okay.
or planted in the right of way, or fenced in the right of way.
Yes. Okay. So that what I'm hearing then is essentially what you described, the situation that you described.
Well, I was never told, we were never told that we were supposed to cut out whatever went over the fence.
I think a lot of residents don't know that. Okay, so you're not the only ones. Now,
We're going to start doing that more.
And
So-
across the street, that's where the part of the Keller Farm is. And they've got barbed wire across there. And I noticed that the man who did our side went over, did also some on the other side where the barbed fence was.
Okay.
Yeah.
would it be I don't know the answer to, like, you mentioned something about planting. I don't know if you meant grass or what you meant in the part that could be mown. Although I think it's tricky on your stretch right there,
It's very steep.
the ditch is very steep. Yeah, so I'm not sure how that would work.
Yeah, I'm not sure it's any different than the part that we do already. We are mowing the part of the township property.
Okay,
In
I mean,
in front of our property, which is pretty normal for people to do.
where the longer stretch of road is?
You know, in front of a house.
Okay, so I think the longer,
Sorry, the east side of the driveway, right in front of your house.
Yeah, and we mow that, and that's township property, I believe, including.
And then,
And we mow that.
as far as I know, all the way to Fish Hatchery, most property owners and farmers down there mow the ditches in front of their properties. It's, I don't think anyone mows any of that down there. It's all.
But
That's all.
we can discuss who mows it if we get to planning parts. And that would be ideal, and especially because this is an island in the middle of the village of one side, which is kept one way, and on the other side kept one way. Here we got the township property. One can feel that, but it doesn't look very good, and it looks worse today than it did 3 weeks. I have a proposal that I propose to you. If you would be interested in looking at it. As a resolution of this issue.
I had a couple more questions. Could I just to help me understand this? If we, first of all, how much of the broken fence can be attributed to mowing? We know there's that one place with the big pile of brush and that it's broken out, but the whole fence has missing slats
Right.
and places where it's broken out. And it almost looks as though it's pushing out from the brush on the other side on your side, is pushing against the brush. And as Carl was saying, over time with that being heavily wooded, that fence gets more exposure to the elements and probably never dries out, especially when it's so overgrown. So can we determine how much of it in your estimation the town should be helping you repair? how do you decide that? And then if you're looking to repair broken parts, given that so much of the fence is in disrepair, is there any point in even trying to fix those pieces? Given that I'm thinking of it when you paint your house and you paint one wall and then you realize your whole house looks terrible and so that the viability of the entire fence is a question I have, what you're thinking along that line. And then finally, forgive me for asking this, but I don't understand the situation. And I think you mentioned you have a retention pond in your property.
No, it's to the east,
Please.
Okay.
Part of the village.
between our property and Alpine.
Okay. Does that fence even need to be there?
Well,
Do
the
you
reason,
need to keep it?
well,
I'm just asking, I'm
Yeah.
just trying to get my mind around.
the
what's
reason it
going
was there originally was there was a road that went up to the, I don't know what you call it, the other house on the hill. The house, Lapidopolis bought all this property, including a house on top of the hill. And there was a road that went up to that house. And that's why the fence was there.
on. So it isn't
At the
really
east side.
something where you need to say keep dogs in the yard.
No.
Or it's not really serving a purpose of keeping things in and out of your yard. Right. Okay,
And I was
those are my
thinking along
questions.
the same lines as Lori, about whether you really, I just can't see it being worth trying to repair that fence. Because I just feel like it's gonna fall down on its own soon anyway.
I have made some repairs on the one on the east side.
Mhm.
And that worked fine.
Okay,
Again, that was wide open, that had sun and was able to dry out. And the one that's running along Netherwood, most of that, in my opinion, most of that fence is really rotten. For lack of a better
Well,
word.
we would be responsible for the part that you didn't do with the machine. We would be responsible for putting up new boards and
right. I think we're trying to softly suggest that might not be worth it. I mean, I don't know what it would cost to just take the fence down and trash the boards, but that could be a decent option. If you like the look of, I mean, it's really hard to see sometimes, but then
and there's a certain privacy too.
right. I don't know if you have like a painter that helps you out with things, but you might get an opinion from them about whether it's even possible to paint that wood.
Well, I have a man that's worked for us for like 20 years. And he has done some repair work on the fence on the east side.
Okay.
So I'm
Okay.
sure that he,
Arlen?
But I think that's a totally different situation. That on the east side, it looks pretty decent. The one running on Netherwood is
I agree with
it's a tear down.
Arlen?
I don't think we can resolve
No.
this evening. I think we have a bunch of looking at things,
that.
and looking
Yeah.
at things are going to be what was asked of the Public Works crew. Were they asked to clear the brush? And if they were asked to clear the brush, we have been considering charges for some of that kind of work, for chainsawing work that's clearing somebody else's property. Two, we have what is the owner's responsibility of keeping the brush from their property from encroaching on the road, on the right of way. And I think we need to be resolving some of these issues here.
I don't believe we have arbitration, and I don't believe it's the owner's responsibility for keeping his tree on his side of the property. I think that's the owner's responsibility. But it is the right of the person who owns the property where the tree is named to cut it off. And I often tried to get the other owner next to me to cut the branches that came over. No, I have to cut those.
I understand the principle there, sir, but this is different than brush and shrubbery, which is more getting into lines of safety, which includes you coming out of your driveway and being able to see
We
the
keep
vehicles
that,
that are coming down that hill, which is somewhat blind.
you're right, because I'm afraid every time I go to the mailbox,
So I think we have,
they come down way too fast.
I think we need to do a little homework on our part as to what was asked of our public works, what they did, what our responsibility is in this, and what is the property owner's responsibility. So I think we have,
It
I don't know
would
that we
be
can solve it
difficult.
tonight.
It would be difficult for the property owner to do it from the roadside because of there's a,
Right.
I,
Well-
what you call it.
well, you could, like I say, you could be hiring the chainsaw, the landscaper
That's all
to
that I
be
did.
cutting things and staying on your own property, but still pulling things out.
So,
We have cut some of the branches, but now they're actually laying in a ditch. We were hoping township would remove those if they wanted to remove the branches that were still hanging over that weren't done. That couldn't be done with heavy equipment. So we cut some of those down. They're in the ditch now. And that's kind of what you're saying. Keep your side clean and there won't be a problem. That's what we're trying to do there. Like we got all brush in the ditch now. I want to just leave a proposal with you.
And this is
that you
different
can
than,
consider,
different than this.
and I understand,
yes,
I'm
Different, right?
and I think, young lady or senior lady, your questions are very appropriate. I think they were right on target, and I think your point about getting more information in regard to that is valuable in making a decision. I understand. So let me leave this proposal. You don't have to discuss it now, but if you see it's an option, and that we could go ahead and we both end up with something we both want, that'd be great.
Would you mind just summarizing it?
Well,
yeah,
well, can I just give it to you and then
That's fine, sure.
if you want to look, and you don't have to respond tonight, like collectively, you might want to think about it a little bit in this situation. And involved with
Thank you.
win-win negotiations, and I hope this is one of them.
Folks, anything else before we move on?
No, thank you I think your questions were appropriate. We might have one slight difference as to if you damage something when you cut down stuff that hangs over, who's responsible? I think you know what my opinion is. Maybe your opinion is out there like that too, I'm not sure. Thank you for.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
you mentioned a Google website. Can you tell us what that was again?
Sure, it's actually Google, it's also google.com. We could send you more information. Do you have email do you have an email address that we could use to send you something? Jennifer, could you jot down? Thank you.
Thank you for all the time.
Thank you.
Good night. Okay, so let's jump back to item 6 and 6B, which is the Payne and Dolan difference in the bid amount, actual versus bid.
We have not received the final reconciliation discussion. Want to postpone that till next meeting.
I thought we got some measurements from Payne and Dolan.
We have some measurements. There was some discussion and I did not, and Sue was, unless you received something
No,
that we did not have,
I thought that was still in play.
it was still in play.
I think Sue said that, she hasn't been able to touch base with Payne and Roland because they're still busy trying to get their projects all wrapped up. She doesn't feel that they're, ignoring us, that just that it's they will get back to us soon.
Okay. Do we think though that a reconciliation is going to account for the entire overage that they charge us for?
No, it does not seem so.
Is it the set of numbers that we created, and then was there a double check on those numbers were slightly off, or I don't remember exactly. I know we had original numbers. There was something else that followed after the project was done.
We had the original numbers,
Yeah.
which were short.
Yeah.
We had the bill from Payne and Dolan.
Right.
Committee members went out, experienced went out with April, I believe, and they remeasured, found that in fact there was more road.
Right.
There was more road, but not as much as what Payne and Dolan had said. We're waiting for a response back from them to
Yeah.
discuss it.
Two different measurements.
So it hasn't been reconciled, but it's not for the full amount.
Do we have any kind of feel for, is it $5,000 or 10,000, 2,000?
I wish I knew.
Okay, so
Do you- Have you?
I think it was not, it was something like 5,000 initially thrown out. Maybe that was the amount they could
back off.
back up.
But I don't know if that's.
But I don't think it was conclusive,
Okay,
right?
Yes, that's correct.
There's a number thrown out that was not a very large portion
so it wasn't
of
40,
the 50.
it wasn't
Right.
40, 52,000.
Yeah, it was more like under this amount. I seem to think,
And I don't know if this is a negotiation.
or
There-
just a
We'll cut
discussion.
off 5 for such a good deal, we'll cut off 5.
Yeah.
I think we're at about that and not dealing
I don't
with the
think
actual.
we've quite really got to the nitty.
Okay, do you think that, okay, given that Payne and Dolan has worked with us for a long time, and given that we're sitting on a $50,000 check,
Yes.
and given that they seem to be thinking a tenth of that might be the difference, is there any reason not to trust them to repay whatever the reconciliation comes out with?
I don't think that's.
I don't think so either.
So I think it seems fair that we're sitting on some of their funds that really should be in the pocket.
And we want to get them, if they want to get it in the pocket, please talk to us. This is the best, money's the best way to have a contractor talk to you and get a reconciliation. Paying them off, the conversation's over.
Well, that's what I'm going back to. Do we trust that they would reconcile?
They will, after the fact, no. I doubt it.
Okay. Do we have any feel for when Sue is back and Payne and Dolan is receptive to talking, any of that?
We have a meeting on the, is it 18th? That's next a week from the first, isn't it?
Yes.
We
Yes.
have a meeting on September road and traffic, September 18th. So we might be able to get to some resolution at the meeting. Pass it on.
So near future.
Very near.
Would you
Hopefully.
say that's?
Yes.
I mean, that is our best option at this point.
So, okay, so I'm essentially hearing that we should hold off until probably October.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just a side note, is historically on the bid requests, the measurements that we made were not included. Historically, on this it was, on this document for this last project, which no, historically or
Historically, there was mileage on. There were mileage on the, it wasn't tonnage, there was mileage, but not tonnage.
We would.
Pardon?
Yeah, you're saying, we would tell them that this piece of, say, Netherwood,
Oh,
and this
true.
is 1.4 miles.
okay,
And then one theory that I heard is that we never did the tonnage, the contractor. But this time we measured.
We measured the length of the roads off of our documentation,
Yeah.
and it was off. We asked the contractor in the bid, see how many tons of blacktop they're going to use. We have them in the contract, how much are you going to use? We're not telling them how much to use.
oh, Jennifer. Yeah, she and I were looking through some good ones.
Right, and Sue has talked about the Dane County. In their bidding, it tells them the tonnage that's anticipated.
Right. Do you remember, Jennifer, do you remember on this particular project, the bid request form, what was the figure filled in that it typically wasn't filled in? Was it
The number
the
of, yes,
tonnage?
Tonnage.
yes,
And we've never asked for tonnage.
right.
Other than the contractor telling us how much they anticipate to use. We ask them to fill that in. We do tell them the length of the road from here to there.
But this past time, we did fill in tonnage.
No,
Yeah, we did.
No, it's different than the last
we
couple
asked
of
them
years.
we asked them to fill the tonnage.
No, we filled in the tonnage.
Where did we fill? I would love to see that.
And it,
Was there a discrepancy on whose measurements? I mean, I
It was
understand
the length
that
that we
there
had.
was county engineers that measured it, were in the past, it's always been the town and in bullet based on the measurement.
And we did.
see, and that's where I think it,
So there must be a discrepancy between the measurements. Has that been resolved?
That's what we're working.
That's what we're waiting. We're getting from.
So normally, we would not fill in this square ring. Number of units, number of tonnage. This year, that was what we filled in. And I specifically said in February, hey, we don't fill in that.
Then I stand corrected.
so that's why I think it
That's
became,
Yeah.
yeah,
that was my.
Yeah.
I think almost always we should have the vendor do the measurement, provide the estimate. And then we have a position in saying, you told us this number.
Yeah.
Now and for this particular paint and dome project, we don't have that.
Because we have nothing to.
Yes, they would.
Like normally it would look like
Be
this.
overjoyed
We
on
would,
that.
we would leave that blank and we would tell them, and then this would be different. It's like, this is what Tri-County, they would tell us the number.
Okay, that's where we're.
Yeah.
And my apologies there.
That's what.
But if either way, if we say this was the anticipated tonnage, what's the justification of having more? You just back it up. Did you ask?
But I think we should have done that before the bid acceptance. Or I should say, I think we should always measure also.
Yes.
We measure, we put it out for bid. Vendor gets us whatever measurements they make. You know, they make this measure, and then we look at the two, we say, okay, how come you are off by this amount? Then we've got something to stand on. Or that bid becomes no good. You know, whatever, if they can't justify the difference, then it's not, it depends on the difference, or obviously it depends on the cost. But in this particular case, we're kind of.
I don't think we are.
Well, maybe, okay,
Because they are coming back with more linear footage than what is actually there. We, in the original contract documents, we were short of the linear, which relates to the tonnage. They overstated the lineal footage of roadway than what the remeasure was. So there's this discrepancy there. There's also concern that did they put down more tonnage than what they were supposed to?
Yeah.
And if, shame on them. Shame on us that we undercounted the length.
Well, let's see.
Shame on them that they overcounted what actually was there.
Well, let's see what Sue and the committee can get to. But then let's put a pin in it.
And get it solved and get it by October. Town board meeting. Absolutely.
Let's do that. Okay, so that'll move to October.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right, thanks for moving on. All right, 6D. Harlan, were you gonna chat about this one?
This is a road that we have no responsibility for. It's a county road. Their letter is that they're asking, are we aware of any archaeological or sensitive, what's their phrasing? Here we go. They're asking for information. Do we know of any endangered species, historic structures, archaeological resources, erosion control, wetland locations? I'm unaware of any such situations in there. This is the first I've seen this letter. We can assign, do we have an archaeological committee, historic committee, other than Tim Lenachuk?
Just he might be retired from that. I don't know. Yeah, actually, may still be active.
I think he still is, but we
Is he on the Dane County Committee?
yes,
So he's our rep at Dane County.
yes.
Okay.
So I am unaware of anything in that stretch of road from 69 to intersection A and D. It's just that one stretch, and there's about a half mile that is in the town. It's about a half mile of the 1.6 mile, 1.5 that's there. In a situation like this, do we go out and drive this? Maybe we could be giving this to the committee and assign somebody to drive this and look for something. Dane County has the information on if there's archaeological things, and they're not going to tell us
We
what's
wouldn't
there
have that anyway.
unless we know of something, and I know of no schoolhouse.
It looks like they're requesting a response 30 days from August 15th. So,
August 15th,
so we're a week away, not even
we're less than a week away.
September.
Lori, do we go out and drive this?
At our next meeting, or that's on the 18th, so we'll be late.
It would be late.
Could be close.
Might be
Right.
close to now. Do you feel that Tim might have some input on this?
No, I don't.
And I don't think
I
they share it.
anticipate nothing. This is awfully quick, and I don't. We're not capable of going into our marshes and environmental, lady slipper
Right.
forest.
Well, so I would suggest if you can, to do a quick, something jumps out at you, but chances are it's not.
Chances are it's.
But then,
We have no resources. We have no identification of any of this material right there.
No.
This,
Not
this
that I
could,
know of.
yeah, and this really could just be, it looks like it could just be an email reply to Mark. This, saying, no, we didn't see anything.
I'd say we could be responding. We.
Do you want it on
we
the-
know of nothing.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to put it on your agenda, you want to, I mean, I can ask Abel to just
Oh,
drive it.
let's do that.
Yeah, I can ask Abel tomorrow just to drive
Yeah.
it and see if he sees anything.
And we could touch on it with the committee.
Sure.
For future.
For
Yeah.
not maybe this next meeting, because we're trying to keep the agenda manager.
How about if I ask Abel to drive it, if he sees anything, then,
That's perfect.
Yeah.
That would be perfect. And I would say, go for it. And they're staying within the right of way. They're not changing anything.
It's just CYA. Yeah. 6D, anything on that? That's just project.
Next year's a minor year. And we're in the process of trying to finalize. That's gonna be more seal coating and patching. Some debate as to what is the most appropriate time for some of the seal coating.
Oh.
And what roads.
So there's a little bit of a need to look at 27, 28, because we don't want to seal coat something
Oh,
we're planning to repave. So there's just a little more coordination and tweaking that I think will be getting at.
Well, you've got your priorities so for 27, 29,
We
right?
do, but there was still some going back and forth. So wouldn't you say,
Yeah.
I mean, because even doing that, there's still the budget, like, there's probably 4 projects we could be doing, but we could only realistically budget for 2.
Yeah.
And then the priorities kind of change a little bit from year to year.
And we're trying to keep the minor projects under 100.
Yeah, so
And-
that's why it's just a little
And
tricky.
there's the tendency to, well, we can sneak this one in. One thing that does seem to be uniformly in there is that we're gonna do the next round of striping.
Oh, I'm glad. I think that's important. And I think it's been well received.
It has been extremely well.
Very
received.
much. Right, especially in my neighborhood, you're on it all the time. It's fine.
So you got a big thank you.
We're not with all kinds.
Well, you get on, see, take all the credit.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a committee, I signed. No, it's, I've given everything I can to the road traffic committee. Bob and those folks on there as far as the idea of safety has been, that's the utmost importance, and it has made Edward 1,000 times safer. Just be able to see the road after dark is awful. And as a biker,
Yeah.
and biking, there's times when it's a little foggy outside without those white lines, the ditch lines right there. It's pretty easy to kind of wander over in the stones, but it's been safe for everybody.
Jennifer, are you receiving comments?
Stephanie, she's on there. Have you received any comments? I have not, but I mean,
I guess I have.
Are we talking about the striping yet?
Okay.
The road striping?
yes.
Have you been hearing good?
Yes, only positive remarks on the road striping, no negatives as far as I have heard.
Sound investment. And it seems to be slowing traffic down on Lincoln Road, which
At the intersection.
at the intersection, but on the hills
Oh, sure.
that are, we're a little bit visually compromised on the hill from Glenway to Hillcrest.
Good, excellent.
So slowing things down.
So it'll be good to
You
have.
should have, hopefully we will have the 5-year recommendation at this September meeting. You think,
October
we're optimistic.
for next month board. Yeah, October. It's already.
Yes, but it's the September meeting of road and safety.
Oh, okay. All right.
That's the target to get that, have that done.
Okay, anything else? Road and Traffic Safety Committee report related? No, how about building committee? We've got some trailer
Yes,
deals and not, well, the deals aren't launched yet, but research still.
research there, okay, one, if we're looking at a not a trailer, but it's the container you converted office, but that's now at 13,000. And I would like to get somebody going out there, whether it's Abel and Ryan or somebody else from Lori, if
Yeah.
we should go or get somebody from
To go look at them,
Pardon?
at the container.
to look at the container.
Yes, I showed Sheldon the photographs and he likes the container idea because the one thing that that he's concerned about with the trailer is those steps you have to walk up
right.
into, which are, they're a pain if you're gonna be in and out, in and out. So when I showed him the photos, he right away said, well, I like that because maybe you need one little step up, but it's not like going up those. And because those stairs tend to be narrow and steep and flimsy-ish and not really designed for, shall we say, the safety of anybody, but, he liked that. And he also thought they looked kind of vandalized. He thought that those bars and the structure of it might be a little more secure.
Are there any OSHA standards on the stairs going up like there are in the deck, wherever? I mean, the rise and run is like
ADA related?
Yeah.
There should be,
They should be.
but I would have to agree with Sheldon that having something that's a single step.
Yeah, that was the one thing he didn't like about the trailer, that one thing. Is that step climbing up these little stairs, yeah.
Can we give you?
God, I just got shot. I just got a jolt.
Okay, we have,
So you want to do a field trip to go look at these, is that what you're saying?
well, we got the double field trip in
Yeah.
here. It seems like the pictures look wonderful
Right,
for this, that it has a desk. It's got a.
It's all-
It's got a little cooler.
all the stuff that's furnished, okay, and because when we were at Rutland, Sheldon reminded me, they purchased a container unit for something like $3,800, but it's just an empty container.
Yeah.
And they use that to store some of their, the mattresses that they take, their requirements that you have. You don't set stuff on the dirt floor, so but with this, you're getting the whole thing equipped with like a little apartment.
Does that come with it?
Yes.
Does it include the desk?
This
They're showing it. It has a little refrigerator in there.
But that's included?
AC, heating.
Would we
Yeah.
get both of them? I mean, would you get both of them to store stuff in the
That's
other?
what I was thinking too. Like,
Well, it's possible.
cause the price was like 14 grand for one,
24 for both.
Yes,
But-
13
And so-
for one, and each of them, two of them, or 24 if you want.
I wonder if we were to offer, we'll give you 10,000 each for both.
Start.
Whether you would
That's-
come back.
That's worth the start.
Yeah, I would do that. I think, like Jennifer said, it gives us flexibility, a little bit more for 10 grand or 11 grand. That seems like a deal.
Where would we put this storage?
Out there?
Carindale, probably.
No,
No?
I'm just saying, it's like, there always seems to be stuff we have. We always need stuff.
Okay, well, let's get to the other
The other-
unit too,
the other one's
and
pretty
have
good.
have a possibility. I think we should move quickly and do something before we lose it.
Yes.
Yeah, we can't string them along like this.
Now, which one are we talking about? Oh, on the two torque or the big,
The one for the torque.
right?
And if you're tickled by the opportunity of having two semi-furnished,
But then, but we need to have the public works guys get on board on that.
To go look
Okay.
at things.
Yeah.
But Sheldon thought for the torque staff,
Oh.
this would have been super.
this would be super.
Okay,
So now, can we slide into section B there?
Yep.
Wait a minute, so
Well, that-
we're back at section A.
we feel fine.
A and B, yeah.
Yeah, and A is Public Works Trailer Office. We have, I asked again, we had August, July and August seem to be everybody's mind turned off as far as vendors. Not unusual. So now I asked him today give me a proposal. And he was looking at this being about a $54,000 new unit that would be, it's called a 10 by 36, but it would be, it's actually 34 feet long
Okay,
and be their office, which would,
So
that
this
seems,
is for public.
this
this
is
is for Public
yeah.
Works. And that would cost 54,000
Mhm.
plus whatever it takes to hook it up.
Right.
No,
Which I think, did we decide that was just electric
it was just electric,
and foundation or no?
no foundation.
Because it's a trailer.
It's a trailer.
Okay.
Other option is that they have a used market. A lot of these are in the 20s. At 25,000. But they're down in Elgin, Illinois. And we have to go and look. And as the salesman said, some of them need a lot of TLC. So how much TLC do we want to inflict upon Public Works versus having a new one? You just do it. And he was having 3 to 4 months to delivery.
Middle of winter.
So we could still be ordering it, paying for it this year and receiving it.
I mean, it's hard to. If you buy new, you know what you get, right? And with, okay, sounds like a great price on used, but if it is like run down.
There's a reason for it being at a price.
Do we even know, who we would compare prices against? It's
I have,
really not
I've
possible.
been trying to do searches for who else is selling these things. And all I get is used. Unless somebody else who does fantastic research on signs could help me out on
Could
that.
look at it.
I can look at it.
Because we're looking, I mean, Jennifer, do you have time to do that?
If you give me a little bit of information and kind of specifically what we're looking for, then I have no problem doing research.
That'd be great.
Okay, is it finding companies who are selling portable offices, temporary offices, office trailers?
And we're looking at, yeah, because I mean, more than that, as far as the office trailer, great size,
Yes.
what absolutely needs to be in there.
Even to compare exactly the same manufacturer and model.
Yeah.
That would get us somewhere.
Yes, do you have information for models?
I can
you
get
looked at, give me that information, I can take that and see what I can find,
Okay.
see.
I will get that
this
to
side
you.
of, this side of China.
Okay.
Just up there, but
So that sounds like a plan.
And I'd like to, and I'd say, I was getting from him, saying, "You damn proposal."
Right.
And
And that's the guy that we had one before from the previous business name, right? Is this the same guy?
sort of,
Mobile Mini or?
yeah, Mobile Mini is, they have, I think, changed ownership and administration.
Okay.
That is part of
Okay.
this Wiscott.
Okay. Okay, that sounds good.
The park committee report, so I think I put that in there.
That's okay.
I've got a couple things I could mention.
Okay.
I ran into Eugene yesterday, I believe. And I had some questions pertaining to Kennedy Park specifically, because I know that David was gonna have some communication with Kent.
Yep.
About because I know that Rutland does not have any parks at all, and as far I'm sure you've seen the same information. I saw that the Kennedy Park is communities around there.
Yep.
It's Rutland has like 80 some residents there using the park, where Oregon maybe has 50 some or something like that. And I did talk to Eugene. I said, no, he's not talking. I said, you're not talking to Kent, hopefully, about sharing the land, because that's our land. We're not but I made a suggestion. I think either I talked to you or Jennifer or somebody about this. Said, or maybe it's you, Carl, that maybe I'm not sure what we're looking for. Maybe it's shared responsibility for Public Works, maintaining the grasses out there and do the mowing, whatever. And all I know is he went to a meeting. Maybe you were there too. Did you go to a meeting with Rutland?
Yes.
No. Okay.
Yeah, Jennifer did.
Okay, I can't speak on that, but I know that it was well received. That people would like to. I know there are residents who would like people on the Rutland board would like to do something. I have no idea what that something is.
Right. And at the meeting, it was very, very low key. It wasn't like we're trying to strong arm them into give us $100,000 or anything like that. So it was more, hey, we know that you don't have, I don't remember exactly, Jennifer's will tell me if I'm misremembering, but it was more along the lines of, hey, we're going to upgrade the park equipment. We're going to do these things. Do you want to participate in it? No dollar amounts mentioned, anything like that. And because it wasn't their budget time anyways, but there was a lot of enthusiasm from the board and people in the audience.
That's what you said.
At some point, some other ideas came up about maybe Rutland would want to buy one of the pieces of equipment. And I don't know where that came from. Maybe that's, I don't know whose idea that was. It?
I think
So
to me.
And then there was discussion too about the maintenance, whether Rutland would want to participate in maintenance. So as far as I know, those are the things that are in the air, and I don't know what Dave Frankson. I don't know where he stands with communication.
Dave, actually, lots of meetings. I was. There's times where I'm not going to be able to make either because it's the same night as the OFED's joint meeting.
And
So
they changed the date though. They did change the date of some of their September meetings.
I think
So
24th still is it? Have they
if
changed
you
it?
look, I think if I got it right,
Put it on here.
it was on page 2 of your agenda.
Yeah.
You have a printed, it changed to October 1st. They changed it to Wednesday, October 1st, and then they're doing another one Wednesday, October 29th. So they changed they got rid of their September meeting,
What time is the
6 p.m.
Wednesday? Okay, I'm fine for that.
This is the time. We have a very goofy relationship with Rutland as far as road maintenance, snow plowing. It's sort of snow plowers sort of wave at each other and say, yeah, I'll take this one this time. Is there if we're going to be having some kind of mutual, can you help us out? We're helping you out. Other issues, which I would love to, because we have the goofiest road relationship with them.
That would be a good thing. Actually, it was interesting when we were at that meeting. Chester, who's their road patrolman, attends their meeting. And he actually was talking about that with a different township that they were working with. And he was talking about that they were working out some arrangement. Can't remember what municipality he was talking about, but it had something to do with mowing and road work of some sort. So yes, so there is they call it the TRI. So it's the town of Dunn, the town of Rutland, and Pleasant Springs, and they get together. And one time we accidentally got invited to that meeting, and then we got disinvited to that meeting.
Very quick.
And so I feel like there is sometimes we're like, I think that's sometimes the disconnect where our guys do go and help these guys, but you guys are not always talking to those board members because you're not part of that TRI meeting that those board members attend. So it would be a really good idea for you to possibly go to that meeting to talk to them. And I don't know how you would want to approach that. I could contact Dawn if you want to just attend a meeting. I think at the last meeting, what was discussed, and you, Steve, weren't at that meeting because you were with your family on vacation, was that Dave was going to try to attend a town of Rutland budget meeting to talk about what they were going to donate towards Kennedy Park equipment. But would you want to just try to go to a town of Rutland meeting to talk about that? Or how would you want to?
Do you want an Abel Chester conversation first, or like an Abel Ryan Chester, whoever else?
So I don't know, or yes, that's what I'm asking. Do you want it to be more of an employee discussion, or do you want it to be more of a board discussion?
I think it should be a board discussion because that's more into the budget, gets more into the budget categories, which Abel and Chester aren't going to be getting into.
Sure, exactly. It kind of becomes,
I mean, how do they handle, for example, the Bay Heights Dead President area, because that's mutual, that's township,
right.
That's both townships that are always plowing. As far as I know, that's always, whatever they're doing has worked out very well. There's no part that's left unplowed, and they do cross over a little bit. And,
No idea.
so they must.
They should be part of that discussion.
Yeah.
Is this really working?
Yeah.
what isn't?
Or what isn't working? What is working? What isn't working? We're gonna find that out.
Well, how about we ask?
Because we're gonna be having big dollar items on the road. Will work.
We have a parking lot that goes in the county, so share that one, and make sure that's always plowed all the time.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
You get a new side of that,
these are dollar things that are more than
because they cross over both townships, right?
Yeah.
Very good.
topics. Is this something that is initiated with just discussion between board members, or do we have? I think it'd be best if it was at a board meeting to try and identify some of the areas of common concern in common
Well,
liability.
I think Chester and Ryan both kind of the roads that cross both our townships know what's.
Finding out what's working.
I'd like to find out from, do they have conversations?
I don't know.
We got a map in there. It's our Pazer rating map. How about if I just have Abel kind of circle on that map? Let's circle on the map. What areas?
Where they share.
Yeah, where we share, and then let that could just be a starting up discussion. Yeah, let's just start that, and and let's not just limit it to Rutland. Let's just address it to like every road we like.
And what about
Overlapping.
the village? I mean,
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
even some overlap with the village. right?
Yeah.
We have overlap with Fitchburg. We
Yeah.
have overlap with Montrose.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
of them.
We need to be having
Yeah.
discussion with all of them.
I'll have them do it on that mapping because that would probably be the easiest and fastest way to just have them circle it.
Yeah, well, Rutland is the screwiest.
Yeah,
Let's
Yeah.
let's do that, because this all of a sudden blew up into a much bigger
Yeah.
discussion with more players.
Yeah.
But I think it's good
It's a
timing.
very good
It's good timing too.
Yes.
What you're talking
Yeah.
about. Okay, excellent. Thank you.
So how do we set that up?
Well,
Well,
I'll have him do it, and then maybe at the 15th meeting, I can if he can get it done by that time, I can show everyone, hey, these are the areas. of that.
15th.
September 15th, we have a meeting Monday, September 15th,
A work session.
yeah,
Oh, the
yeah.
works.
That's yeah.
Monday.
Okay, so that's it for park committee. Let's talk about, oh, this is Jennifer, this is your, with the loan.
Yeah, so on page 19 of your packet, the interest rates have come down. So, I mean, if you did 10 years, 5.5%, would be what we'd be looking at. So we still have not borrowed for Kennedy Park. Okay, so what we were kind of holding out was whether or not we are gonna take Kennedy Park equipment and move in the trailers. So every single time we kind of push out this trailer discussion, I sort of am, what are we doing? What are we doing here? What are we doing here? Are we gonna borrow for the Kennedy Park equipment? And are then we going, so we didn't make a decision on the Kennedy Park equipment. And it was kind of a two thing. It was one, we were sort of waiting to say, hey, is Rutland gonna give us some money? Because then we wouldn't borrow as much. And then two, are we gonna loop in this trailer purchase into that? So it was, and then three, we also have to remember that we did not borrow enough money for that overage for Raven Oaks.
Yeah. and
So
that's
there's now
done.
like a third
That's
kind
in
of an
play
issue,
too.
right?
Mhm.
So we know how much Kennedy Park equipment is. Rutland is kind of a non-issue because if that money were to come, it's going to have to come into a different,
And it's gonna be,
Fiscal year.
a different fiscal year. So Kennedy Park equipment is gonna cost what it's gonna cost. We still don't know what we're gonna end up paying Payne and Dolan. And we kind of don't know what, but we still should wrap up that loan in some sense.
Yeah.
So when can we expect to do that? Because if not, we should really wrap up the loan for Kennedy Park. We don't have to do it tonight, but I would like to try to set you guys have a date so that can be wrapped up.
We have the exact number for Kennedy Park, right? It's 100 and something.
Yes, and I feel like there's some discussion as to what amount that you'd maybe just want to have taken out of park funds, like if you want to, it's like a little bit over $100,000, and that included some amount of money that I think that was a little bit higher than we expected, but I think that was because the situation came where it had to come from the fact that they are going to be installing the equipment.
Right.
So
So
I think
the 101 did not include installation, or it did? I thought
it did.
Okay, yeah.
But I think originally, in our minds, at one point in time, we were thinking 70,000 or something like that. Right. So I think the idea would be is, do we want to take some of that overage and remove it permanently from park funds? Or do we want to finance the entire amount, including, this is my question for all of you. I'm asking.
Yep.
It doesn't, I'm just asking. And then that second part is if we're gonna wait, or if we're just gonna go ahead and that. It doesn't have to be decided tonight, but I'd like to decide at some point, because I'd like to move ahead and start with the loan for the Kennedy Park equipment. We know that.
Is there an expiration date on the rates? Could the rates, the desirable rates go away anytime soon?
Yeah, I think that rates obviously are just like any
They're
rates.
always like-
They're always fluctuate,
Yeah,
so
the better to pounce, ideally pounce when it's like, benefit from the lower rates.
I think so too.
I think, I think 10 years, I mean, unless you're really thinking 20 years, which is fine. But I would think that you'd probably want to at least do 10 years, because that equipment, that park equipment's gonna last 20 years, so. you
And
could go
the
20
road,
years.
the Payne and Dolan
Yeah, exactly.
would also be long term.
I mean, usually don't borrow that long, but that road is, but you're gonna loop it into something else. The trailer, I think that's another asset that's a 10-year asset. the
Right.
trailer.
Right.
So, yeah, so I don't think any of the things that we're talking about are assets that wouldn't be, you would consider a 10 or 20 year, whatever.
Maybe,
Yeah. And
within
I'm just trying to minimize an impact on a tax bill, is what I was trying to do with something that, this is kind of this is something that we're not probably gonna replace, is kind of what I'm thinking, like this isn't a road loan that we're gonna be replacing. So, but,
So no, wait, are you saying that 10 years would have too much impact and you'd go 20, or are you saying 10 is?
I would say you could go, well, I would say, I look at it in terms of something you might want to be replacing. So
Right.
I would pick a term of something to think if you're going to be replacing it or you're going to be. So if you think, okay, we might be building a building or we might be building something, what would be a term that might look at that?
Yeah, no, I know exactly, I
Yeah.
know what you mean. So
So
what,
I probably, 10 would be just because that interest rate at 5.5 would be 10 years. So, but I mean,
I'm tempted, and this is just me,
Mhm.
my opinion, so. I would be tempted to, mostly just to get it done, is to do Kennedy Park in full and the full amount of the Payne and Dolan overage as the loan, as the first loan. And since we don't have final numbers on anything else, to do the trailers in their own loan.
Well, it'd still be looking at if you're gonna have that lump, there's a $24,000, both little ones, and the 54 for the big one,
Right.
plus whatever electrical work is in there.
Right.
I mean, because that's 150, right? So if you were to loop in what you're talking about, the 50,000 and then the
Make it 25.
make it 25, you're looking at 225. So between $150,000 loan and a $225,000 loan is about the difference to loop in the trailers.
So, okay, so are you saying to just go with the estimates, the rough estimates that we have on the trailers, include that in the
I think
loan
so.
with everything? That's fine with me too. I was just not certain what the dollar amounts were gonna be.
How about this?
Which is
How
fine.
about
That's
we,
exact.
because I don't have anything on paper tonight, how about we have the meeting scheduled for Monday? How about
Yeah.
I look at exactly what we approved for the Kennedy Park equipment? We look at, you send me that proposal you got for the amount, and we look, and by that time, maybe somebody can go look at the Cambridge. And maybe we can even look at what the estimate for the electrical. And then I get a total, and then we'll know. And then maybe at that Monday meeting, we can approve the application for the total amount.
Yep. And chances are we'll be off a little bit somewhere, but
But and then you could even add 10% or something to
Oh.
that if you wanted to do
That's
something
not
like
bad.
that. And then if you did that, it's possible if you wanted to order it, you would be, or if even if Steve found something, you could then still have the money.
Right.
You would have the money to, right?
no, right, no, I'm agreeing with you, but I'm thinking like, do we want to just approve that tonight? Because we could.
Well, Monday's not,
Oh,
It's just,
yeah, it's a few days away.
yes.
Yeah, I'd rather just have a sheet that says what it.
That's fine.
Yeah,
That's
to be,
really be a little clearer on
Yeah.
what we want, what we really
Yeah.
need to ask for.
yeah,
Even though we're still kind of
because I feel like it's not,
estimating it.
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
More than we'd like.
It's not itemized.
just to be a little bit on the safer
A
side.
little more
That's fine.
concrete about what it's going to be.
But I feel like we're all on the same page.
Yeah.
Everyone's okay.
Okay, good. So right now, we have a September 15th town board meeting at 3 p.m.
Mhm.
Correct.
And that is the agenda for that is going to be long, or this is going to be a quick meeting?
So that was originally set up so that you guys could look at who was applying for the
Plan commission.
planning commission. And so far there is one applicant, Laura Wilmot. So that part, yes, so that part of the agenda might be very short. That was going to probably be, so the applications are accepted until Thursday of this week, I think, Thursday or Friday this week. So.
Okay.
Then,
Yeah, handbook or,
got the handbook, and then if you
Yep.
saw also, well, I think because we're gonna have probably a couple of board of review appointments, I'd like to discuss a little bit about board of review, because it's been a long time since we had anybody at board of review. So I think just spend a little bit of time reviewing board of review, and Jerry Jensen, you guys all saw my email, that too,
What's to come on the 15th?
yes.
Say it again.
Jerry Jensen, he would like to come with 15. So it will be short-ish, more-ish.
it shows up as a half an hour on, at least on my calendar, and I think it'll be closer to an hour.
Seventeenth.
Plus, is that?
I'm supposed to be in town at 4 o'clock.
Oh,
Oh, what time?
4.
Do you ever listen to podcasts and they speed up people's voices? I'll try to do that.
2 meetings after.
Okay, anything can be done.
Brooklyn meeting and a joint meeting.
on that night.
Also.
September is busy,
Yes,
busy for town.
it is.
Another,
What about me about those combined fires?
Yeah.
Audit meetings.
Harlan, if you can get any information you get to me about trailers,
Yeah,
I plan on taking Thursday in the afternoon and research whatever I can in the afternoon. Friday, and just get at least get a start on that.
We'll get you,
Who knows what?
yeah, just what we have.
so it's about 7:30. We'll take a recess for a few minutes or power through.
I wouldn't mind standing up for a second.
Okay.
I think a little recess.
Recess, okay, then, without objection, we'll recess for, say, 5 minutes.
Okay.
So on your,
How about we get this done? There you go.
By 8 o'clock.
Let's do it.
Okay, so
Let's
we
go.
are, meeting will come back to order.
CSP podcast.
yeah, okay.
Let's talk about, item number 10, which is on page 21.
Okay, Sheriff.
This will, we can talk more about this with our budget hearing, but this just came in the mail, so this is just the new contract pricing for 2026.
Okay.
There's nothing really, just informational only.
Oh, this is for
Our,
FYI.
yeah, FYI,
Okay,
that's it.
got it.
Is
Okay.
it significantly higher?
No,
All right, number 11, we talked about the right-of-way fence already. For A, B, the stump cover, which we just saw, I lost.
There's another H32. Yeah, we have another cooperative thing.
Right. Yep. But we just need an approval on this.
yes,
And this is a renewal, isn't it? Like we've done this before. Or maybe it's not, maybe this is equipment.
yeah, I kind of feel like
I'm trying to find
this is,
Here's your-
New.
I'm gonna read the forward.
Same group that all shares.
yeah,
Oh, there, okay. Page 35 is where the dollar amount is. Did we budget for anything like this?
do you pay for it already?
No, something, it seems
I just
seems
paid
familiar.
this, in the, what you guys just paid, I just paid for the insurance on it, so I feel like we paid for this, you paid for the equipment already. I think we're just following up with the actual agreement.
I talked about 42,000, 4,200.
and we paid for that. So I think this is just kind of a formality.
Okay, for approval on the agreement, or can we?
And move the, approve the agreement with the town of Rutland. As presented.
And done.
And done. Awesome.
Second.
All right, any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion passes, thank you. And Jennifer, are you up to date on these things?
No, I don't have, I am not up to date on Storytown.
Okay, that's,
I believe it's done. You know, but I also am not up to date. We did get a bill for the survey and we paid that, but I have to be honest, I'm assuming that they're all done.
okay,
Have not been out there.
Okay.
So that, and then the pricing for the salt contract, again, this will be something we're probably gonna look again at, but if you wanna look at page 45, yep. That is just the tonnage that it's going to be. So we always have to tell them how much we would like, and then they go up to bid, and then it comes back with that's what you bid. Then on pages 46 and 47, that's just again, that it's all Dane County, but that just is what we have reserved for us. So again, this is just more of an information. This is informational only.
Okay.
And in terms of number D, number E is that was a budget item. So they purchased a trailer, but Ryan was out last week. So the trailer actually came in. I did not have the invoice to pay it, and he didn't have a memo or anything on it. So that's just gonna have to be skipped. So
okay,
maybe we'll follow up.
okay,
And then F on the snowplow driver. So I did reach out to Todd Cleaver.
Mhm.
He is the one who helped us snowplow in previous years.
Mhm.
And I asked him if he was gonna still be available for the coming snowplow season, and he said yes. And I said, is there anything we need to worry about or anything? And he said, no. He's like, not like it's 24/7. So he is on board. We do have the F550, which has a plow on it, and in past years we have had a fourth, and that has been used to go up into cul-de-sacs. So I guess the idea would be is whether or not the board wants to either look for or consider. And I didn't talk to Abel, although we've talked about it before. Sometimes it's like you get really late into the season when you start to look for someone. But if you wanted to consider looking for a fourth or, even two more people, but that person could do cul-de-sacs. So they go in, we have a lot of cul-de-sacs in the town of Oregon.
Yeah.
And it's very difficult to get in there with, very, very difficult to get in there with the big snowplow trucks. And so that F550 with the plow on it can get in there and can get those pretty good. And so you don't need a CDL for that. So whether or not we would want to try to put an ad in the paper and try to hire someone to put in that 550 that could do cul-de-sacs. So
I don't know what the
it's-
downside of that would be. It seems like a good idea. And then okay, let's go. When you're talking about two more,
sometimes it's always good to have a backup.
true.
It's, is there someone out there that would be a backup of a backup?
So now, just to clarify, so you're saying Todd plus 1 equals 2, or Todd plus 2 equals 3?
You could do Todd plus 1 for putting the I-50 or the 550. So it'd be like, however you would want to structure it, or however, which is like, it just depends on what the snowfall
Yeah, I should
looks
say
like,
the-
right?
the
You don't know
demands.
what the snowfall looks like.
Right.
But it's always like, do you have one person in the background who's like, hey, it could be like, I want my weekend off. I don't want to come in this weekend. Could that one person have a weekend? It just depends on how you want to structure it and who you can get. there's that.
That I think is the first part,
Yeah.
is
It's
to
who you gonna get.
put an ad, see how many people respond.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
then we can figure out.
Yeah.
who
To shake up
how
from there,
many.
yeah. So, that was,
It's hard to say with the weather,
Yeah,
the weather's been going.
you never know. You never do know.
my first thought about getting a second, Todd plus two more. I'm thinking of it from the perspective of the person who agrees to do that. There's no guarantee of any number of hours.
No,
And so how desirable or advantageous would such a job be? And then we've had these light snow winters. So I think, I guess I'm inclined to say Todd plus one
sure.
seems more reasonable just from that perspective.
Sure.
Of course, I don't know how long it takes to clear out the cul-de-sacs when you get 12 feet of snow in a weekend,
That's true.
There's that.
If we have that 12-foot snowstorm.
We'll have other problems.
We've got other problems.
I think it'll be some pretty great there.
Do you have an ad that you can recycle from previous years?
I think we do have an ad from previous years that we can recycle, so if that's something that we are that we think we just wanna pop out there and
And
see
see
what
if
we
you
get.
find some interest.
Do
Yeah.
that, see what we,
I don't think that needs a vote, but does that sound okay to everybody?
see
Put
what,
it-
it's just putting that out there, see if we,
Yeah.
I mean, and we can just see what we get.
Yeah.
Perfect. I have no problem putting top plus two just because.
Or we'll
As
just
I said,
see what we
there's-
get.
There's that unusual 25-year snow.
Right.
We haven't had for a while, but we will at some point.
Not directly related to any of the items, but indirectly related to that section. It would help, I think, if we had like a sentence or two from Abel for each item that's under the public works report, just say,
Yes, it would be
I mean, so
helpful.
you know in general what's going on. He's gonna have some other perspective, but is that
Yeah.
something that would fit into? the
Right,
flow
that's
of
why
discussion?
I think that it's been hard with summer and vacations, like Orion was gone, so that trailer thing he was gone last week. I
Right,
was gone the week before, so that kind of like went like that. The snowplow thing, we just never connected, with that, so it was like,
yeah, and even kind of similar to the park committee.
yeah.
If Dave can give us a sentence or two.
And he sent us an
He
email
did.
today,
He
and I
did.
don't remember, and I was really busy with that, so I can't even
Yeah.
remember what it was.
It wasn't about tonight.
Okay,
It was like he would like to talk about a couple topics at a future meeting. And I don't remember what the topics were. I think it was just progress update. It's not.
If we have the capacity to hire the two more people besides Todd, would that cut down on the comp time issue?
I think the way you could structure it is you could look at and say, hey, on a weekend, you could, I think, ultimately say, would you want to go out or would you want to send them out? That would be an option, and I think that there has been something where, like, I can say, would an employee say, I have not been able to take vacation because I have to plow snow? But maybe I could take vacation if we had people that could plow snow. So you might be able to get more,
Get some input from
So
the
you-
public.
yeah, right.
In other words, you could stretch out the vacation all year.
If you have that, we just you don't always have the option. And I don't know that we're gonna get anyone, because we've done this before and you get nobody. So there's this unknown. So we'll see what we can do. But if we're able to, I'll throw something out there and we'll see what we'll get. But it's this time where we don't wanna miss some, where that perfect timing is, I don't know. So we'll see.
Thank you. Number 12 is fire and EMS related. Looks like in the packet on 49 is a copy of the resolution. Is the timing right for this, or should it be after the budget?
So I put it in there and, okay, so. Hi, Jennifer was asking about this earlier. I believe Dawn has already done hers. So we can wait if you would like to. This is totally fine. This was from Linda Coolman. She said, it is my understanding right now that the fire budget for 2026 has decreased, but the EMS budget is increasing by 1.1%. if it passes at the joint meeting in September, we will still need resolutions for the EMS budget to increase our levy limit. Worksheet line. I didn't put it in there, but I was going to pass it out. So if we would like to wait on the resolution and passing it, we absolutely can. It doesn't necessarily matter if we pass it tonight and then
Okay.
it doesn't go anywhere, it doesn't go anywhere.
Okay.
Or we can wait until after we pass the budget. Either way does not really matter. It says, just so that we can add the increase to our levy limit, which for us is never really a big amount, but we all have to do it. It matters mostly for the village of Brooklyn because they're the biggest contributor.
I have a statement that I wrote down, I just don't know why I wrote it down, 20th of August. What I mean, have circle bring back to our board. I wrote down, why would we want to exceed our levy limits to dedicated for cash reserve? Brooklyn, for example, the fire has 160 cash reserve right now. That's a question.
Yeah, I don't know why they don't want it. Sometimes I wonder, in the past, it has always been a question that has always come through is, why do fire districts keep essentially a savings account? Why do they, and what do they need a savings account for?
And it's not
Because we-
retirement related, because I know.
Sorry, what's that?
Retirement related, that type of thing, or is that a different line item?
I do, that was a different line item, I think, last year, I think when they took care of that, I'm talking about,
Brooklyn, right, you're right.
It has been a question that has gone kind of round and round, is we fund them and then they keep kind of this fund balance or this savings account, and yet then they kind of keep asking for more money, and yet it's like, when are you using your fund balance?
And for what?
It is a question.
that's still,
Yes, it's been out there. And you understand it somewhat, that you don't ever want to like not have, if something were to happen, like your roof were to fall in or something, and to try to get out the municipalities at that moment to go fix something. There's something of that nature, but where that there sometimes seems to be a lot of money sometimes
Yes.
sitting there. So I think that this is usually for us, because again, we're not a very big player in this district. But we can, this resolution is, again, not for us all that important, but again,
Well, I think there's some principle in there. If it's gonna come, they're gonna come back. Maybe with another big one.
right,
Get us in the practice of challenging.
right. But I feel like for this, it's like we don't have it in terms of a municipality, in terms of where the state puts levy limits. We don't have any way to, like, this is the only way that we can do it. So we have to push back on the district so that they're using these funds. Yes, that's what we would have to do, push back on the district to say, are you going to use these funds?
Yes.
Yeah, so I think in your case, what you'd be saying is, we wouldn't be passing this resolution, and we would tell them to use their funds. Which I'm completely fine with as well. You can wait until, this doesn't have to be done tonight. So I'm telling you that. We can add this to the October one.
I prefer to wait on it.
Okay, perfect.
Next one under,
And that one would have to wait as well. This is something we do every year. We borrow for, but I have not looked into that loan. I've not talked. We usually borrow that from Lake Ridge, our local bank. Because we do that as a 1-year loan.
we typically do it at the end of the budget process, or it
We
doesn't,
do it
not tied to it?
before,
It's
yeah.
not tied to it.
Yeah.
All right, let's go on to 13 in the tort report, especially about burning and ashes.
We just got something in an email today
Yes.
that was granting our requests for a waiver.
Oh, good.
That came in after I put this little report together.
It's on page 52.
Yeah. Yeah, so,
that's hard.
and they've been doing the things that they've been supposed to be doing. One thing I did misspeak in the report. The signs have all been prepared. We're supposed to identify each point, you know, where you put the tires, the batteries, whatever. And the signs have been made,
They're not.
but they haven't been put up yet. And there was some discussion about putting them, having them such that you would just put them up when the torque was open. Make it sort of a thing where you just go, I don't know, anyway. The signs are made and they should be going up next Saturday.
Are they?
They're handcrafted
Oh,
signs from
nice.
that, you know, keep that homey, friendly
Yeah.
neighborhood gathering place effect,
Flashing
ambiance,
fluorescent,
yeah,
Rural
Yeah.
character.
the rural character.
Okay.
But, they haven't had any.
Did you make the signs? You did the signs. Oh, Sheldon did. Okay, excellent.
And he does that because he's trying to save the town money.
Mhm.
So, you know,
Yes.
it's behooves the board if they feel we need more professional looking signage. That we'd have to push that through and get the money and borrow money for the, roll that into the loan. Yeah,
How is the phone? Cause I'm still paying the $100 a month for the phone up
nobody
there.
uses the phone.
Can you get rid of the phone?
I think we easily could, yes.
Everybody's got a mobile
Could
phone now.
we just try to call, could I honestly get rid of the phone? And what could we, what would we do? I mean, when the guys go out there, they have their cell phone.
All three of them always have a personal cell phone. But I'm not clear on whether it should be the town that provides that.
Could we
cell
get,
phone.
could I ask the guys to just go get like a third cell phone, like a,
That
and leave it out
could be
there?
kept out there. That would be wonderful.
Okay, let me have them look
If you
into
could just
what
put it
a,
on your plan.
yeah, but
That would be wonderful, because then if somebody, for some unknown reason, something, no one has a
Yeah.
cell phone that day.
Yeah.
And there's always a cell phone. I think that's the one piece of that,
sure,
to know that you're not relying on somebody to remember
Yeah.
his cell phone, or
Okay.
to have a functioning cell phone.
I mean, usually adding a line onto a cell phone is like $30 a month.
Right.
Okay, let me do that.
So I thought it was a cell phone already. not-
No, it's
I'm sorry.
it's an
Wire.
actual Frontier
Like
line
a
line
wire.
out there,
Oh.
yeah,
Oh,
and it's
man.
$99 a month
Oh,
out there.
Oh, that would be significant.
It's, yeah,
And it's not necessary.
Perfect.
Yeah,
okay, I'm gonna have them go down to
and
the,
this way you could send texts to them.
yeah,
You know, that would be really helpful too,
Oh,
that
that's
you
true.
can get in
Yeah.
touch with them while they're down there,
perfect,
and, you know,
awesome,
Mhm.
thank you very much.
Good people remember to look at,
yeah, that's,
you know, if it's sitting on a shelf.
it should have to be where it's.
Awesome,
Excellent.
thank you.
Let's get that.
If that happens.
I mean, it could even be an iPad or something. Cause don't they have to contact the fire
They
department?
have to contact the fire department, and they can do it with a cell phone. They can't access that through the cell phone.
Perfect, Okay.
Sheldon even learned how to do that a
Oh,
couple
Awesome.
weeks ago, yeah.
okay, awesome.
an iPad would be,
So.
I mean, besides buying the equipment, which is, you know.
Yeah.
300 or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know that it would be, I think you'd have to have a different plan.
Oh, okay,
That might be more expensive, but.
Sure.
you know,
I
But
think-
okay, but we're equivalent over.
But knowing that
$50.
they can just do it via
Oh,
phone,
yeah.
Yeah.
that's probably what
That's
it
fine.
is.
sure, okay.
All right, anything else on the talk? And 14 is the vision survey and committee and all that stuff. We have a committee meeting on Friday, and then on 16th is the community input session. And you're all invited. I've got, there's you all got did you get this? The agenda, I forgot what was item.
I have it.
So it's a draft, but I think it's pretty close, so that,
Is do you recommend it's good that we're there on?
yeah, because I think we're gonna put you to work.
What's that?
I think we're gonna put you to work, helping tables. There'll be groups of people, there are 8 tables, no, 5 tables, 8 people, 8 tables, 5 people, something like that. And we're gonna have you, help them in the discussions. So we can split and explain more.
That's next Tuesday.
That's Tuesday evening. And that's it for now. Building inspections, I didn't even look this.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot to include those. I
That's
apologize.
okay.
I'm sorry.
And then the assessor report. Looks like we've got some people that are gonna be at the board of review. Did we set, is it finalized on whether there's still one board of review date
Okay,
and time,
there's-
or possibly 2?
There's going to be 2 for sure.
Okay.
So, the reason they have to is there is a statutory date of how many days between when they send out a letter and the number of dates that somebody can appeal that assessment. So, I believe what I asked her was if we could do it on a day that we already had a scheduled budget hearing in a budget work session in October. So it must have been October.
Tuesdays,
Yeah,
8th, 15th, 22nd. Yeah, those 3
I
days.
think it was October 8th. I think October 8th is when we're gonna have,
At noon.
yeah. I think October 8th at noon is when we're gonna do the second board of review.
So far, there's just one person, correct? That's,
That could potentially come.
okay,
It doesn't mean that they're going to come. We would probably just open it up and close it again.
I mean, so
so no 2-hour.
No 2-hour window, but we just have to open it up and allow them, if they're there, allow them the opportunity to come.
what time would that be then?
Noon.
Okay, because noon is the budget. We do-
Right, so we
Before-
would open it up, close it, and then we would do our budget hearing. But so I figured that we already had that date and the time set aside,
Good.
that we could just do it at that time.
That works.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why do we have 5 agendas in here?
Cause Jennifer counts by her hand and not by her fingers.
All right.
You killed a tree? Because you're a klutz? Is that what you're saying? Okay. Enough.
She wanted to make a really big impression.
Big impression. There it was.
Really emphasized.
She knows I lose the chance all the time, so. Looking up.
There's one for everyone in there.
Jennifer, would you like a vote on the accurate appraisal?
Okay, so this was something that, I don't remember when we talked about it, but we were a little inundated with the fact that we were doing our assessments every 4 years, and we were like, well, should we do them a little bit more often? And if we do them a little bit more often, how much would they cost? And so I reached out to Accurate, and I didn't think they were as expensive, but I guess I'm not a judge of, I got it and I put it in here, so I thought you guys could talk about it. And again, it's not something you have to decide tonight. But so again, currently we are in a contract right now that ends in 26. 26 would be another maintenance year. So it would be 26 maintenance, 27 maintenance, 2028 maintenance, and then 2029 would be a market update. So this would be in every 4 years. Every 4 years. Okay, so I don't know how this will work, because we've seen people get kind of, I don't know how housing could get any, but
Right.
so let's look at what they've kind of give us a different kind of approach. It looks like if we did market update in a year of your choice, a blended year, 2580, so that would be, that's what we have right now. So if we went up and we did 2 market updates, so that would be 2784. If we went to where it would match the Village of Oregon, then it would be 30,000.
Every other year.
So I again, I'm not like a judge of like how expensive, but I wasn't like, oh, well, that was like, then again, when I go to do the budget, I'll probably say something different, because then I'm like, and then I try to search for $25. So.
But we're already paying 25,000.
Right.
So-
We're paying the 25,800. So, even if you went up just the 1 tier, you'd be going up, what? 2,000, and that would at least build in, you'd be building in another, it would at least give you 2 market updates in a year of your choice. So you would at least be getting another couple ones in there, which it would give you 2, instead of just having 1 market, it would give you 2. So it would give you, instead of doing it in 2029 and then not again until 33 or something. Yeah, I mean, at least that one, I think, would at least give us.
But right now, we're at something that they're going to do an in-depth one every 6 years.
No, they're going to do an in-depth, they're going to do the same thing they're doing right now, which is just the market update, which is what they just did. And they're not going to do it again until 2029. Yep, 4 years.
But prior to that, we were doing 5.
We happen to have it 5. It should have been 4.
Okay.
But it just happened to be 5. This would go back to being 4. And then this contract right here wouldn't have us doing one till 2029. And then we'd have to renew our contract to probably have another one in 2033.
When you mentioned having us in sync with the village.
Yep, that's what they
that
suggested here.
immediately sounded like a good idea to me. People talk with each other, etc. Some people don't know whether they live in the village or the town. I don't know. It just intuitively struck me as being cleaner. I don't know.
And just
It's just a thought.
psychologically for residents, I think it might be easier to swallow more frequent but smaller
Yes,
valuation.
that there's that too, because that waiting, Arlen is ready to speak. I think. I thought you were going to say something.
I am.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, if one is going to be looking at market and demand, Dane County is still the fastest growing county. We are in high demand. We're going into uncertain times, inflationary times.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to be incumbent on us to do this every other year to not have the sticker shock that we had this year.
It's bad,
Yeah, I think I'm definitely not doing what we've been doing.
and they can all grouse at the same time. Every 2 years.
But it shouldn't be as bad. I mean, well, it could. I mean, okay.
Yeah, we
There's
can all
unknown.
grouse.
There's
We can
unknown.
all-
So it could still be bad, but it won't be as bad as 4 or 5 years back.
But beyond that, as Arlen says, with the housing prices so in flux. And, you know, things
politics
do
of-
change all the time, you know,
Shaky stuff.
yeah, yeah. Mhm.
I would say, I think that's a good suggestion. I think that will start to just even out some of the weird oddities that we don't catch and
Then
some
there's
things that
that,
we're not having.
these
and-
outlier types of
Yes.
things that,
Yes,
then that doesn't get addressed for 5 years
Mhm.
and it's a greater shock,
Mhm.
yes.
so, and I think that I've seen from just Clerks Networks and things that of the costs that other municipalities have, I think we are still getting a fairly, I think this is a good price. I mean, assessing services are difficult, and I know they're not perfect, but would you like to make a recommendation then, and then I can have the contract drawn up, and then I can,
Sounds like the matching the village is the way to go.
Every other.
Every other
No,
year.
let's not match the village, let them have their debt. Let's us do it every 2 years,
Every other year.
every other year.
I think that makes
We'll do it.
sense.
I don't know, man. They can match us.
Yeah.
Okay, we're just getting, everybody's getting punched. We're almost done though, right there. All right, clerk's report, please.
okay, are we gonna make a motion? Could you make a motion with that?
I thought we were gonna get a contract though.
Yeah, but could you just, oh, you want me to just get a contract?
Yeah, because I think we,
Okay,
I
I'll do
think
that.
we approved that.
Okay, I'll do that. I purchased the second, or I'm sorry, the 1, 2, 3, 4, the 5th Badger book. It was $24.41. We got that now this year. I wanted to get it because like everything, I didn't want to wait. We're gonna have the governor election next year. We just found that when we were processing absentee ballots, it just took a lot of time because you have to run them through a Badger book, and running them all through one Badger book just took too long. And you can't take any of the 3 Badger books that you're using to process in-person absentee ballots. So we
Okay.
got that ready. And then when we attended our training in Wanakee, it's really hard to believe, but the DS 200s, which are what you put your ballots into, the machine you put your ballot into, those are now being replaced with the DS 300s. This is a picture of what the DS 300s are. They are faster, and I think we've had these for like over 10 years, the DS 200s, which is hard to believe. There's some more security, the tapes are better. They're all over better. Eventually they will stop like anything servicing the DS 200s. So we will have to set some money aside to be replacing these. And I doubt we will, I hope, but I doubt we will get any help with purchasing these, so.
Do you know what the probably interest on, but do you know what the cost?
Well, it was like one of these things like, oh, well, we were having trade-in values, but now the trade-in value is like $200.
Okay.
So, I don't know yet, but I will find out what they will be, around budget time and see when we will we'd want to put it in for now. For sure, by the time the next presidential election will come.
We don't need more than one, do we? Or do we?
We have 2.
We have 2, okay.
Yeah. One
Okay.
for the absentee and one in the front, so.
Okay. Got it. All right.
And then, I think the only other thing is that we have gotten our levy limit worksheet. It's up here. There was a caveat with our levy limit worksheet that we got a notice that said they're under review, which was a little disheartening, but I sent it to Martin Shanks, and that is that OPEB amount that we had last year, whether or not that's going to be a permanent increase or whether or not, I believe it was like around maybe $20,000 or so. So that is why we got that notice. We'll have to see. It looks like our net new construction is the only amount that our levy limit increase can go up by. So if you see it went up by, what is that? $1,000, $1,200, so that's how much an increase we got, so that was your raise.
Awesome.
0.14%. That's how levy limit works.
It's on 6. Well, 6 is the new construction percentage.
Yeah, they don't, they make it very creative. You have to do your own math because that's how creative they make it. They give you the percentage and then they give you that, so you have to do your own math because they're not really gonna show you how little it actually is. That's the way that the legislature designed it.
Okay, I'm missing.
So page 68.
So-
And then top section, line 6 just shows you the net new construction percentage.
Point,
No, new construction.
and then you go over here and see how it says 896, or I'm sorry, 897.
Yeah.
Okay, well, if you take it times, or if you subtract the 896, 510, which is the actual levy, right? Your new one is 897. So 896 subtract 897. What is that? It's 1,000. 1,200.
1,250.
Okay, well, that's because 1,250 is 0.14%. So that's your raise. That's your raise. That's what you got for a raise. Yeah. Yep. That's your net new construction. That's how little the town grows. That's how, I mean, I don't know if there's any town that grows that little.
I'm surprised it's
Point
not.
one.
I'm surprised it's not clear.
It doesn't, I don't even know what 0.14%. You have to look to see if there's anybody even littler than that.
That's the way it is.
Yeah, anyways, okay,
That's the way it
so
is.
that's that. That's all I have.
Okay, excellent. Just really one more thing to chat about, and that is 18A, and this really probably no action here, but just a summary of the employee handbook and job descriptions project. I think it's in the works.
We're gonna put it on Monday, right?
Yep.
Hopefully.
Yep.
At time. Jerry and.
Right. So anything else before we shut this down?
Yeah, can I extend this by about 30 seconds? Just so there is a few things from the fire district that, for your information.
Can we go and skip over that?
Along with that, remind people, Luke Bryant concert is on the 18th. That's coming up on Thursday. It was a big deal and a big money raiser last year. There's also, you probably know this, there's been a bit of a rift between basically between Brooklyn and Belleville EMS fire chiefs. They reached out to each other. They're starting some communication, whatever that means. A lot of it has to do with, some of it has to do with they're able to service Greene County now and trying to find ways to communicate between each other better. That's all I know about that. There's remind the joint meeting on September 17th. You all know about the damage to the ambulance. I just got something the other day that the ambulance has gone in for repair, and right now they're using, I think, Unit 30 from Dane County. They're borrowing. Justin's able to borrow that for his EMS. A new station sign is going to be there. When asked about how this will be paid for, the proposal is that it'll be paid through the village, $11,000 through the village of Brooklyn. And they'll be doing fundraisers. There's no timeline for it. There's also a recommendation that the boiler is going to be replaced there. The old one's 18 years old. That's being postponed till next week. We'll meet in October. And I had a question about what are the spending levels or the increases past few years. It's going to come up. I'm sure you have.
I have one quick question.
Please.
Does this rapprochement between Brooklyn and Belleville have anything to do with the budget concerns in Belleville about the EMS costs to the district? Is that gonna help spread out the cost, or I'm just curious?
I couldn't answer that for you. I think a lot of it has to do with just the basic,
Bridge.
just basic communication coverage. There's areas in Greene County there. I don't know if there's who's gonna cover this, who's gonna cover this between Belleville and Brooklyn. I think they're resolving that. And they're talking. That's one thing
I wouldn't be surprised if this doesn't have something to do. Yes. And just FYI, I have a friend who lives in Cross Plains, and they're going through a similar thing there about these what do you call them, these combined districts.
Yeah.
They're having some issues of, you know, convulsions about how much EMS is going to different partners, and so this is not unique.
Well, there's more pressure. The other thing I got, there's more pressure on EMS than fire right now. There's
Yeah,
a lot more. I mean,
totally.
that's where fires have actually gone down a little bit, and the EMS have.
Yes,
course it
and I
is.
feel like part of it has to do with the demographics of the
And
and fall. One morning,
Yes.
I'm listening to this radio station, and the fire chief from somewhere like Monroe, or I don't know where, is talking about the epidemic of falls and how that's just driving up these EMS calls.
There's something in I think in one of the latest art vacancies about that.
So, okay.
Anyway. All right, thanks. And sorry if I forgot you during regular agenda.
No, I feel like I might have not done.
Are we at the end?
Yeah.
Looks like we are. Last chance. All right, without objection, we're adjourned. Thank you all.
You know how to contact me.